Great news for Arsenal. Real Madrid star, named man of the match against Alavés, is out of the second leg, and more. Arsenal enters talks to sign £34 million striker Arsène Wenger tried to sign 11 years ago. All this and more you can check out now with the top Arsenal news directly from Emirates Stadium, so make sure to like the video and check your subscription so you don't miss any updates. And without further ado, let's get started. Mikel Arteta is going to be praying the boys can pull off another masterclass like they did in that stunning 3-0 win over Real Madrid at the Emirates. But this second leg at the Bernabéu? Whole different beast, mate. Madrid aren't going to roll over. Their pride took a serious dent after that first leg humiliation, and you just know they'll be out for revenge. They'll throw everything at us to claw their way back into this tie and book a spot in the semis. Carlo Ancelotti's job might actually be on the line too. His team's 4 points behind Barça in La Liga, and let's be real, at a club like Real, you're basically expected to win either the league or the Champions League every season. No trophy, no mercy. So yeah, Wednesday night is massive for them, and for us. Dani Ceballos is already hyping it up, saying the Bernabéu is gonna be buzzing, and you can bet they'll be trying to make it one of those famous European nights. But we've seen this Arsenal side rise to the occasion before. We've seen them silence crowds and dominate on the big stage. While Madrid edged out a 1-0 win over Alavés thanks to Camavinga, we rested some legs and kept our focus on this huge clash. Let's just hope we show up with the same fire, because if we can weather the early storm, get a goal, we might just break their spirit again. Eduardo Camavinga starred via Alavés, but Real Madrid gem is ruled out of Arsenal clash. The good news for Arsenal is that Camavinga, who impressed for Real Madrid against Alavés, has been ruled out of the second leg due to being sent off at the Emirates Stadium. Arsène Wenger has lauded Camavinga's talent, and against Arsenal in the first leg, he looked like the only Real Madrid midfielder who could depart the pitch with his head held high, winning duels, taking responsibility by receiving the ball in the first phase, and trying his hardest at all times. But the nature of the result seemed to have frustrated the Frenchman to the point that he needlessly got sent off and cannot feature in the second leg, with the former Rennes technician's suspension already confirmed after picking up his first yellow card. But against Alavés, Eduardo Camavinga starred, winning La Liga's official Man of the Match award in the process as he made the most interceptions, 3, and successful dribbles, 3, while also winning the most duels, 13, during the contest. Camavinga showcased against Atletico Madrid in the second leg of the Champions League last 16 clash that both in and out of possession he can be impossible to handle, and considering how seasoned is in Europe, Arsenal should be relieved that he is set to miss the much-awaited showdown. Declan Rice shone against Real Madrid, and while the Englishman showed he can go toe-to-toe with any midfielder in Europe, the two-time Champions League winner is as complete as they come, and his absence severely weakens Los Blancos in the middle of the park. Taking into account how crucial Camavinga has been for Real Madrid in Europe's elite competition, whether that is against Borussia Dortmund in the final last season, or against Manchester City in the semi-final during the 2021/2022 campaign, his absence is incredible news for Arsenal, with his potential replacement in Aurélien Tchouaméni not being at his brilliant best currently. But a question Arsenal fans worldwide will be asking is whether Camavinga's French teammate Kylian Mbappé is eligible to play in Real Madrid's next game, considering he was red-carded against Alavés. The answer is Mbappé is eligible to play against Arsenal, as he was sent off in La Liga, a competition that is not affiliated with UEFA, and as a result, the Champions League. Mbappé struggled against Arsenal at the Emirates, and he will be determined to right his wrongs, especially after his latest sending off against the Gunners. Gooners, with Camavinga suspended for the second leg, do you think this gives Arsenal the perfect chance to dominate Madrid's midfield? Or will Mbappé come back stronger and spoil the party? Leave your opinion in the comments below. Arsenal now in talks to buy £34 million forward who Arsène Wenger actually tried to sign 11 years ago. It's no secret that Arsenal will be attempting to improve the attacking options available to Mikel Arteta this summer. Andrea Berta is predominantly chasing a striker for Arsenal this summer, but the club's new sporting director has also recognized the need to sign a new left winger too. Arsenal already planned to add a winger, but Berta has made it another priority. The Italian feels as if the Gunners need another right-footed option on the left, an upgrade on Leandro Trossard and Gabriel Martinelli, if you will. And whilst Arsenal have held talks with Nico Williams at Athletic Bilbao, there's no guarantee that the Spaniard will head to England this summer. Therefore, Arsenal are interested in Kingsley Coman and have now reportedly taken their intrigue one step further. According to journalist Florian Plettenberg, Arsenal have now made contact with Coman's camp over a potential move this summer. The journalist claimed that there was ongoing communication between both Arsenal and Coman, who are interested in the 28-year-old France international. Sharing his update on X, Plettenberg wrote, "There is contact between Arsenal and Kingsley Coman's management, with both sides in ongoing communication. Arsenal are aware that Saudi Arabia is a very appealing option for Coman, but they have expressed their interest. Coman and Bayern are expected to part ways in the summer. The situation is positive, with open dialogue between all parties. Coman will be replaced." According to the same journalist, Bayern Munich would demand around 40 million euros, 34 million, for Coman this summer, a fairly reasonable price given that the winger isn't indispensable to Vincent Kompany's project. Arsène Wenger actually tried to sign Coman for Arsenal back in 2014, a name that is probably already very familiar with a lot of fans in N5. Coman left Paris Saint-Germain on a free transfer to join Juventus 11 years ago, and Wenger actually wanted to take his compatriot to Arsenal. Speaking in 2015, a year after those attempts, Wenger said, "Yes, we really tried to sign Kingsley Coman in the summer of 2014. The transfer was almost completed, but he preferred Juventus." Now, over 10 years later, Arsenal might finally get their man, a winger who has now won 8 Bundesliga titles. Whether Coman would actually prevail as an upgrade on someone like Martinelli remains to be seen, but it seems as if the interest is there. How Arsenal feel about keeping Thomas Partey as Barcelona continue to show interest. According to an exclusive from TBR Football, Thomas Partey is highly unlikely to remain at Arsenal beyond this season, with the Ghanaian midfielder set to end his 5-year spell in North London. Partey has featured 45 times this campaign, notching 4 goals and 3 assists, including a crucial strike in the 1-1 draw versus Brentford on Saturday. However, he also picked up a minor injury in that match, placing his availability against Real Madrid in doubt. A blow, considering how pivotal he's been for Mikel Arteta when fit. The 31-year-old's contract is up this summer, and despite a strong run of performances, all signs now point to an exit. Whether it's a return to Spain, a move to Serie A, or even a late career switch to Saudi Arabia, Partey's next chapter looks set to begin soon. A loyal servant when healthy, but with age, injuries, and midfield reinforcements incoming, it might just be the right time. Barcelona want Thomas Partey as their Joshua Kimmich alternative. TBR Football's Graham Bailey reports that Arsenal are unlikely to offer Thomas Partey a new contract, not due to a lack of admiration, but because of the financial demands it would require. At 32 years old this summer, Partey would likely become a squad player, and offering him a bumper new deal doesn't fit the club's evolving strategy under Arteta and Berta. Exit inevitable. Talks have already taken place with Barcelona and Atletico Madrid, making a return to La Liga highly plausible. Meanwhile, Serie A heavyweights Inter, Juve, and Napoli are all watching the situation closely, and Saudi Arabia remains a lucrative fallback. Barcelona's plan B, not a downgrade. After missing out on Joshua Kimmich, Barca have pivoted to Partey, not as a step down, but as an experienced elite alternative who already knows La Liga intimately. That familiarity, paired with his big game pedigree, makes him a serious option for Xavi's midfield rebuild. With Arsenal's midfield revamp and Partey's wage demands creating an impasse, all signs point to a mutual parting of ways this summer, but it seems Mikel Arteta is thinking of something different. Before the Gunners square off with Real Madrid in their second leg, Partey has warned Arsenal's players what to avoid from doing at the Santiago Bernabéu, given his experience of playing in Spain. And given that Partey could leave Arsenal in the coming months, it is now pertinent to revisit some comments that Arteta made about the midfielder earlier this season. Arteta was speaking before facing Southampton in October at his press conference and labeled Partey as a massive player, perhaps someone he wouldn't want to lose. He said, "He's a massive player for us, and he's shown that week in, week out. He started the season really well, really fit. The way he came back post-holiday was probably in the best condition that he's been, which was really helpful as well. Now he needs to continue to do that. We have managed certain minutes with him in the right way, and the team is doing that, and then he's doing everything he can as well to be in the best physical condition. Perhaps it could be the end of an era for Partey in North London, and although Arsenal want Martin Zubimendi this summer, perhaps they will also explore other midfield options too." Well folks, those were the main news for today. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated on everything happening with our beloved team, you know what to do. Subscribe to the channel now and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any updates. Thanks for joining us, and until the next video.